Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me for your daily tarot reading. I always ask you to choose the stone that draws you, the one that resonates with your intuition. And we'll begin. All right. For those of you who chose the Labradorite, this is the multicolored stone. We have the Sun. We have the 7 of coins. We have the 4 of cups. All right. So the Sun is wonderful. It's joy. It's joy. It's a lot of times a moment of feeling loved, feeling approved of, feeling like the sun is shining upon you, feeling blessed a lot of times. Now, it's interesting that it is with 2 other cards that aren't, they're not depicting people with smiles on their faces. We've got the 7 of coins, so that's the harvest is rich, but the worker's kind of worried about it, or there's something preoccupying the worker. Maybe the worker doesn't like his work. Maybe the worker is exhausted, tired, who knows? But the 7 of coins says, but there is a harvest there that is rich, that is good. And the 4 of cups there, that one's also depicting dissatisfaction. It's sort of like, yeah, I'm not satisfied with the cups I've received, the source of emotional fulfillment I've received. I'm not happy with this one either. So it's kind of like that. Or sometimes that is about, I'm so kind of focused on what I lack that I can't see, that Spirit is bringing this good thing in, this good message, this good news in. Sometimes it's that one because that person is not even looking, right? Not open to receiving something that would be satisfying. So really, this Sun card, it really might be Spirit trying to break through the clouds to you. It might be Spirit trying to say, you're loved, you're taken care of, I love you. I like this small child, I hold you blameless. I approve of you. Sometimes, we carry our worries and our concerns and our perceived failures or shortcomings. We just carry them on our back. Like this guy looks almost like that, doesn't he? This guy's stooped over too. We just carry him. And Spirit is trying to say, hey, I love you. Let them go. You have enough security. You have enough emotional fulfillment. You have enough of the good things. Let's enjoy it. Let's soak it up. The approval, the love. Then joy can come in. It's so strange. We hang on to things and we let it worry us in the back of our heads. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to use that big brain that evolution has given us to figure it out. And sometimes it can't be figured out in the moment. And it's really best to let go of everything, every thought that comes through your mind. Put it in the hands of a loving source to take care of it for you and let it go. Just focus on this moment like this child does. So that, I think this is a wonderful reading. I think Spirit is definitely trying to get through to you with some joy, some carefree kind of sense. There is no reason we can't be carefree, even when there are so many things we could worry about. Because what will worrying about them help? For those of you who chose the turquoise, we have the Tower, we have the 3 of Swords, we have the 3 of Wands. Now, this is really interesting to me. Now, the Tower is about something going on now, or something that like it can be an epiphany, it can be a conversation, it can be just an event that changes things, shakes things up. But the 3 of Swords might feel like, okay, there's sort of been a repetitive kind of thing happening here, or the tower that is right now makes you think of previous towers. But the 3 of Swords is, well, sometimes it really is negative thoughts. It's ways we have of thinking about ourselves, our lives, they're stuck there. They're stuck there in our heart. And maybe they get triggered by different things we hear, different things that happen to us. And it's sort of a tendency of, here I am again, being pained or feeling kind of heartbroken about this issue. However, here we have the Three of Wands, sort of like, that's also another three, but it's waiting for your ship to come in. It's looking out into the sunset and knowing that even if your answer isn't here right now, even if your efforts don't pay off right now, you can look to the future. And efforts that you've put in, priorities that you have, work you've put in is bound to pay off. You know, this is the merchant who is waiting for his shipment to come in. That's who this is. So he's actively participating in this. But he's just patiently waiting. So I think there's a choice here. I think we can choose a Three of Wands mentality. Like, you know, we've invested in something better for the future. We've invested in a better day. And we don't need to look to the past with this Three of Swords and look for, oh, this isn't going to work out just like that didn't work out. Or, oh, I'm so sick of this particular situation or thought or belief or problem. Instead of doing that, we can look to the future and we can start thinking, what good thing could come in? What have we put effort towards? What are we hoping for? That kind of thing. Yeah, because the Tower a lot of times gives us an opportunity to shake things up, to get us to this. But you know, if we can't envision it, if we can't envision the good things coming in, well, what good is any of it if we keep hashing and rehashing negative themes? You know, we do need to spend some time envisioning a good life and saying to Source, I give my permission for that to be happening to me. I give you permission to bring that to me. I believe that you will. I believe that you wish to. I give my permission. And it's a strange thing, because when you say that, you may become aware of barriers that you have had to these good things that you say you want. So I find that to be a very interesting kind of prayer. For those of you who chose, and then when the barriers come up, we can let them go. For those of you who chose this stone that's sort of like fossils of coral, we have this white and gray stone. We have the Hierophant as your major arcana. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Queen of Wands. Isn't that interesting? Well, okay, because I do political readings, I do see some cards here that I see a bunch. You know, this could be about the government working. This can be a incoming sort of Democratic leadership, maybe Kamala. And this can be Trump in those readings. So I'm going to talk about that in case that's what's on your mind. And then I'll go to another interpretation for those of you who this is more about your life. If this stuff is on your mind, the government, the workings of the government, if that kind of thing is on your mind, these are good cards because they're suggesting the government is working, it is moving forward, the transition of power is occurring. That's what that is suggesting. If that's not what's on your mind, these are interesting cards. They're good cards because the Nine of Cups can be your wish card. That can be a sense of, I'm blessed, I have achieved a certain amount of, emotional well-being, an emotionally rich life, a life that contains comforts, contains, a lot of good news, right? Cups can be good news, good messages. I've obtained that. And I feel blessed. That can be that. It can also be a sign that your wish will be coming true, whatever wish that you have that's been on your mind. It may come in through the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is simply the structure that we human beings use to achieve common goals for the greater good. So like the Hierophant can be government. So the Hierophant can be paperwork, it can be contracts, it can be agreements between people that are binding. It can be institutes of higher learning. It can be professions like the medical profession. The Hierophant can be any group or club or fellowship or church or organization that we belong to, we take part in to achieve the greater good, to achieve something that would be hard to achieve all on our own. So in other words, there may be a situation where there's something you wish for and you can achieve it through some human institution's involvement in some human institution, and it looks like you have great focus and you know what your main priority is and you hang on to that and you will see it through. You have this great fire, this great sense of purpose. It's this strength, it's this energy that kind of courses through you and keeps you motivated to get to what you wish. So I like these cards. They're very good cards. They're very good cards. And I hope there's an insight in them for, how to get there. And basically some reassurance that you will indeed get there. Yeah, those are good cards. For those of you who chose the orange stone, we have the Page of Swords, the Two of Coins, and the Eight of Cups. So these are all minor arcana, not a huge kind of deal today. Probably nothing too major going on in your life today, but a little bit of everything. The Two of Coins suggests that you'll be balancing things. You might be balancing work and home. You might be balancing health and work, health and home, two different relationships that lend you security. You might be balancing your money, your budget, but you're doing the balancing act and you're doing it. You are doing it and you're doing it so well. Even if there's turbulence in the background, even if there are some things that, you don't have any control over, like this man has no control over the ocean. And some worrisome things. Look at that ship up there, kind of like, oh my gosh, is it gonna capsize? Sometimes the Two of Coins kind of energy is really kind of nice to get our minds off of something we can't control anyway. And let's focus on what we do to balance our own securities, to improve our own security, keep the plates in the air. And it's okay to let that become completely absorbed in that, and just some things we can't do anything about anyway. And we have the Eight of Cups, and that is, I feel like there's a sense that you may be kind of busy today, but then, or working it, and then there may be a time when you need to, and that's either the beginning of the day, the end of the day, a time when you need to separate yourself a little bit and connect with your emotions. After we have a time spent in this, sometimes we do need to connect with our emotions and kind of get grounded, like, okay, this is what I decide is important to me today. This is a priority for me. This is self-care. Sometimes this is, what do I need right now? What do I want right now? What would be soothing and comforting to my emotions? What would replenish me? Sometimes it's that. And so this person is walking by the water too, so there's emotion there too. There's emotion. But we have the Page of Swords too, which can be the beginning of a plan that you may have, or speaking to someone, sharing something, writing something, can be that. So I see with these two cards, you spend time in your day in these two cards, and then you do have to get back in touch with emotion. You know what I just saw? There are two cards here. What else do we have? The Four of Coins. All right. So the Four of Coins is a reassurance that you are indeed hanging on to your security. Even if there's something that leaves you feeling a little less secure, and it can't even be this, your efforts to balance your sources of security, it can't even be that, because see, now this is not you know, that can feel challenging. But like this man, something is sort of, it's almost like the winds are buffeting him, and he's hanging on to his security for good life, for life, you know, he's hanging on to it, and he is hanging on to it though. So that card can be a reassurance that, hey, you're managing it. Sure you are. Sure you are. Nobody's taking your security from you. You're all right. You're going to be all right. So I think there's a nice time of connecting with yourself after a successful day. That's what I'm seeing. Well, thank you all so very, very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, press the like. I thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.